Guys, in this video, we're just going to talk through some of the variables. So variables are going to be things like reps, sets, tempos, rest periods, those sorts of things, just to make sure you're clued up when you see the program, you know what it means and you know what you're going to be performing. So if we take phase one, we take that stabilization level program, sets and reps. Sets is basically, if we start with reps even, reps are going to be how many repetitions, how many times you perform that exercise. So if you look at press-ups, 10 press-ups will be 10 repetitions. The sets is going to be how many times you perform that block of repetitions. So 3 sets of 10, you perform 10 press-ups, relax, and then you perform your next set. So that's how the sets and reps are going to work. One of the key things that we want to touch on is going to be the tempo, so the speed of how that lift is performed. If we take the exercises through stability, you'll notice the tempo looks like a 4-2-2. What that basically means is quite a lot of time under tension. Because we're trying to work the stabilizers, they're going to respond better to high amounts of time under tension. So if we take the press up, for example, what we're going to look at doing is if we control down for 4 seconds, we'll hold it for 2, and then we'll come back up for 2. So that's how those tempos sort of work. 4 seconds, so the bigger number is when you're lowering down, the middle number is when you're in that bottom position, and the last number is when you're then generating the force to come back up. So 4 seconds down, hold for 2, come back up for 2. That's how the tempos work. If you get mixed up with those, think for the first couple of programs, perform them under control. So you're not smashing through, you're not repping through too fast. Then if we look at rest periods, so pretty obvious how much time you're going to have as rest in between the exercises. If it's 0, it means you move straight on to the next exercise. If it's 60 seconds, rest for 60 seconds. So that's how that will work. On one of the columns as well, you also see where it will say intensity. That's going to be more applicable when you get to the strength side of things, but that's going to be how much load you're going to be using. So if you're using 60%, that usually be 60% of a 1 RM. If you've not done anything like that before, think about a weight that you can use that's going to challenge you for that number of repetitions. So if you look 16 reps, what's going to challenge you for that? So that's how it works. Those are your variables for the stability program. We'll touch how they will constantly change throughout as we're trying to manipulate them to get responses on the other programs. So we'll touch on that as we move through. So they're your variables for phase one.